There is a language your grid speaks before it fails. It has 4 words in it. Conservation appeal. EA1, EA2, EA3. By the time anyone says the 4th one out loud, the lights are already going off somewhere. And here's the part that should bother you. The operators are required to say all 4. They are not required to say them to you. I'm the Doomsday Badger. I don't guess. Let's go. Last briefing was the clock, what fails, and when. This one is the warning system that runs before the clock ever starts. Because a regional shortfall almost never arrives without notice. It arrives after roughly a day and a half of increasingly urgent institutional throat clearing. All of it published, all of it logged, all of it reported, in a vocabulary designed for control room operators talking to other control room operators. Here's the structure, and none of it is secret. It's a NERC reliability standard. YOPI-011. Emergency operations. Public document. Free PDF. On NERC.com right now. There are 3 energy emergency alert levels. They can be declared only by a reliability coordinator, the entity with the widest view of your interconnection, sitting above the balancing authorities and the transmission operators. Attached to that standard is a plain language definition of each level. I'm going to read all 3 to you exactly as written, because once you have these sentences, every grid headline you ever see again reads differently. But first, the line in that standard that made me build this whole episode. The reliability coordinator may declare whatever alert level is necessary and need not proceed through the alerts sequentially. Read that again. They do not have to go in order. There is no rule that says you get a warm-up. The system can go from an ordinary Tuesday to firm load interruption imminent without stopping anywhere in between. So the plan cannot be, I'll react when it gets serious. The plan has to be, I know what each level means, and I already decided what I'd do at each. 1. Warning 1. The conservation appeal. This is the one you have seen and ignored. A text from your utility. A local news band across the bottom of the screen. Grid operator asks customers to conserve energy this afternoon. Thermostat to 78. Delay the dryer. Avoid large appliances between 4 and 9. Everybody treats that as a polite request. It is not a polite request. It is a public signal that the operator's margin has narrowed far enough that they are now trying to buy megawatts off the demand side because they cannot find them on the supply side. It typically arrives hours to a day ahead. It is the earliest, cheapest, most ignored warning you will ever get. What you do at warning 1. It takes 10 minutes. Charge everything. Every phone. Every power bank. Every device battery. Every rechargeable lamp. Fill containers with water and freeze a few of them. A full freezer holds temperature roughly twice as long as a half-empty one, and blocks of ice are the cheapest thermal mass on Earth. Fuel the car to at least half. Get cash, and then actually conserve, because the appeal working is how the rest of this list never happens. Warning 2. EA1. The standard's exact words. All available generation resources in use. Read what that actually says. Everything they have is on. Every plant that can run is running. Every import they can buy, they have bought. And they are now watching their contingency reserve, the cushion that exists so the system survives losing its single largest generator without dropping a single customer. And they are concerned about sustaining it. At EA1, nothing has failed. Nobody has lost power. And the margin is gone. What you do at EA1, everything from warning 1, finished, not started. Plus fill the tub if you're on municipal water. Plus check the medication plan. Plus decide, now, while it is still abstract, what your stay or go trigger is. Warning 3. EA2. Load management procedures in effect. This is the one to understand. This is where the operator starts spending things that are completely invisible to you. Interruptible customers get shut off. Large industrial users who signed a contract years ago agreeing to be cut first in exchange for a cheaper rate. That agreement is being executed right now, and there is nothing about it on the news. Demand response programs fire. Voltage reduction. Public appeals shift from please to urgent. Emergency assistance is requested from neighboring systems. At EA2, load is already being cut. It just isn't yours yet. And this is the 30-minute window. Between EA2 and EA3 there is often, not always, a gap measured in tens of minutes. Everything you do inside that window is calm and free. Everything you do after it, you do in the dark. Warning 4. EA3. Firm load interruption is imminent or in progress. Firm load is you, your house, your street. Firm means the power you pay for and are entitled to. Imminent or in progress means the decision has already been made. There is no version of EA3 where somebody is still deciding. And at EA3, the operator picks up a further obligation that tells you exactly how serious this is. They have to report the situation at minimum every hour until it's terminated. Hourly reporting is not a routine posture. And then there is a fifth state, and it's the good one. EA0. Termination. When the deficient balancing authority can meet its load and its operating reserve requirements again, it requests termination. That's the one you're waiting to hear on the radio. That's the all clear, and it has a name. For warnings. Conservation appeal. All available resources in use. Load management in effect. Firm load. Interruption imminent. And they do not have to arrive in order. So let's use that window properly. 30 minutes. Here's the order, and the order matters because each one enables the next. Minute 1 to 5, water. If you're on municipal supply, fill the tub, fill the sinks, fill every pot. If you're on a well, this is more urgent, not less. No power, no pump. Immediately. Minute 5 to 10, cold. Every empty space in the freezer gets a container of water. Set the fridge and the freezer to their coldest setting now, and then do not open them. Again, minute 10 to 15, charge. Phones, power banks, laptops, because a laptop is a power bank with a screen. Rechargeable lights, medical device batteries first, before anything. Entertainment, minute 15 to 20, information. Radio out, batteries in, tested. Actually tested. Now, not later. Because if your only plan is your phone, your plan is 4 to 8 hours long. Minute 20 to 25, light and people. Headlamps found and staged. Hands. Free beats handheld every single time, because everything you're about to do needs to. Hands. And text the person outside your area now, while texts still go through. Power may go out. Here. I'm fine. I'll check in at 7. Sent early. That one message prevents a remarkable number of bad decisions later. Minute 25 to 30, the house. Unplug sensitive electronics. Restoration is not gentle, and the surge on the way back up damages more equipment than the outage does. Leave one lamp switched on, so you know the second power returns without having to. Check. Garage door manual release located. Gate release located. That's 30 minutes. That's the whole thing. And every single item on that list is free. Threat 2. Rolling blackouts are not random, and they are not fair. Understanding why is the difference between anger and planning. When firm load has to be interrupted, it doesn't happen at your house. It happens at a substation, on a distribution circuit, a feeder. The operator drops feeders in pre-planned blocks, usually rotating, usually in chunks of 15 to 60 minutes, until the deficit closes. Which feeder you happen to sit on decides your entire experience of the event. And some feeders are effectively never dropped, because dropping them isn't allowed or isn't practical. Hospitals and critical care, 911 centers, emergency operations centers, police and fire, water and wastewater treatment, some telecom and transmission facilities. So if your house shares a feeder with any of those, you may sit through an entire regional event with the lights on while somebody 4 blocks away rotates every hour. That isn't favoritism. That's circuit topology. And you can find out. Many utilities publish rotating outage block or group numbers, and at a lot of them it's printed on your bill. Call and ask 2 questions. What block or group am I in? And is my feeder classified as critical? 5-minute call. Information almost nobody on your street has. Now, 2 things people get badly wrong here. First, rolling blackouts are a success, not a failure. They're ugly, they're inconvenient, and they are the controlled outcome. The uncontrolled outcome is what happens when frequency collapses and automatic protection sheds load faster than any human can intervene. Restoring from that takes days, not hours. When a grid operator rotates your block for 45 minutes, they are spending your inconvenience to avoid everybody's week. Second, when it comes back, it all comes back at once. Every air conditioner, every heat pump, every well pump, every compressor that was mid cycle when the power dropped, all trying to start in the same few seconds. That surge is real. It's why utilities stagger restoration and re-energize in stages. And it's why cheap surge protection on the electronics you care about is worth having. Before the event, not after. After, it's just a receipt. Threat 3, and it's the one that made me want to make this video. You are not on the distribution list. The EEA system is a communication protocol between reliability coordinators, balancing, authorities, and transmission operators. The standard says so in as many words. These are the terms they use when communicating energy emergencies to each other. There is nothing in that standard that makes your phone buzz. Wireless emergency alerts, the ones that override your ringer for tornadoes and amber alerts, are not routinely used for grid emergencies. Your utility may text you if you signed up. So build your own feed. For channels, all free. 20 minutes of setup, and then it runs. Forever. Channel 1, your grid operator, directly. Find out which one you're in. ERCOT, MISO, PJM, CAISO, ISO New England, NYISO, SPP. And if you're in the slate areas on this map, much of the west and the southeast, you're served by a vertically integrated utility instead, and they are the ones to call. Texas runs its own interconnection. MISO down the spine of the country. SPP through the plains. PJM through the Mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley. New York, New England, California, and most of the rest of the West isn't an organized market at all. Most of them publish real-time grid conditions and alerts publicly. Bookmark it. Follow the official account. It costs nothing, and it is the closest thing to an early warning system you will ever have. Channel 2, your utilities outage alerts. Sign up for text and email. Then go and confirm the number on file is actually your current number, because for a lot of people it isn't. Channel 3, NOAA weather radio with SAME, programmed to your county code. Because grid emergencies sit downstream of weather emergencies most of the time, and this one works when the towers don't. Last briefing's item, still the best $30 in this series. Channel 4, your county emergency management agency. Most counties in America run an alert system, and most residents have never enrolled. It's also where cooling center and warming center addresses get published. Now the gear for this section. It is the cheapest object in the entire series, and it fixes the most expensive mistake in it. A plug-in electricity usage meter. $25. Here's why. Most people buy a generator and never measure a single thing it's supposed to. Start. Running watts is not starting watts. A well pump, a fridge compressor, a furnace blower. They all spike to several times their running number the instant the motor turns over. So the $400 machine trips every time the pump kicks in, and you find that out on the worst night of the year. $25 on the outlet this weekend tells you the real number. Measure first. By second. That order has never once been wrong. So what's the pattern? Every one of these 4 warnings is public, logged, and reported. Every one is written down in a standard you can download in 30 seconds. And almost nobody outside the industry can define a single one of them. That's not a conspiracy. That's a vocabulary problem. And vocabulary problems are the easiest kind to fix. You just fixed yours. The current picture, straight. NERC's 2026 Summer Reliability Assessment, published May 19th. Record resource additions, more than 58 gigawatts. Peak demand up another 11. New England, the Pacific Northwest, and Saskatchewan still flagged elevated risk under extreme conditions. And their Director of Reliability Assessments, on the record, the improved conditions we're seeing shouldn't be interpreted as saying that overall reliability risk is declining. That's this whole channel in one sentence. Better is not safe. Better is better. For warnings, conservation appeal, EA1, EA2, EA3, and they do not have to come in order. You now know more about how your grid asks for help than almost anyone on your street. So do something with it in the next 10 minutes. Find your operator, sign up for one alert, and go look at your bill for a block number. 10 minutes. That's the whole ask. 2 things in the comments, and I read all of them. 1. Which grid operator are you in? ERCOT, MISO, PJM, CAISO, ISO New England, NYISO, SPP, or no idea? No idea is a completely legitimate answer, and it is the entire reason this video exists. 2. Have you ever actually received a conservation appeal? And did you change anything? Industry people, reliability coordinators, balancing authorities, transmission operators, distribution, line crews. If I simplified something in a way that matters, correct me in public. I'd rather be corrected than confident. Sources in the description. Yopio11 is a free PDF. Read attachment 1. It's 4 pages. Next briefing. The piece of equipment that takes 3 years to replace, and why your utility can't just order another one. Badger out.